Hey everyone! So before I start the video, I want to apologize if my camera's a little bit hazy today. I'm still troubleshooting why that's happening, but please stick around because today I want to talk about a seriously troubling pattern that I have noticed as an elementary and sometimes kindergarten teacher. So this video is going to be about role models for boys and girls in Korea. So let's start with role models for boys. They are mostly not idols, with the exception of G-Dragon, who is known for being a fashion icon and designer and music producer and whatever else, just as much, if not more, than he's known for being an idol today. He used to be known as an idol, but nowadays he's known for being more of an entrepreneur, I'd say. But he's also known for being Jenny's ex-boyfriend, which is kind of weird coupling to me, but yeah. I would definitely speculate though that the biggest role model for my young male students in Korea is Son Heung-min. And for those of you who don't know who he is one of the most successful soccer players who is completely Korean. And he is very popular in Korea, and I will tell you that my female students could not care less about him, but my boy students really look up to him. Why? Because he is a great soccer player and he is a widely celebrated athlete. His talent is really emphasized, and his face is on coffee, ramen, and more, which brings me to his face. It's very natural. I doubt that he's had any work done at all. Plus, it doesn't really go hand in hand with being an athlete. Not that some soccer players don't get work done. I think some do. But for him, I think he doesn't. And he's been playing for so long, since he was in like high school or something. So I just don't think that he's had any work done. So while he's not ugly, his talent is what is emphasized and celebrated. A lot of my male students think they can be like him if they work hard. My boy students who like him have many different looks, and they don't seem to feel a need to look like Son Heung-min. They just want to be like him by playing soccer and being talented. Now, let's talk about my girl students. I have made jokes about this before in my shorts, but they are obsessed with the looks of themselves and other female people. So how did they get to this point? Their role models are pretty much exclusively idols, and especially the bigger name idols in Korea. Particularly, they tend to love aespa and IVE. Now, I like aespa and IVE, so no hate here. On the topic of the role models who are of the same gender as my female students, they do tend to be drawn to the thinnest idols with some of the most plastic surgery, like especially aespa's known for having similar looks, IVE as well. For example, they really love aespa Winter, which, if you didn't know, aespa Winter is known for being very, very thin. And aespa is known for having their, like I said, perfect looks. Now, I know that the K-pop industry is the K-pop industry, and it's like a big machine. But when I see my perfectly healthy students watching these videos and wanting to learn the dances, I can't help but wonder, is this altering their perception of what they think humans look like? Will they grow up and expect themselves to be that thin? Additionally, there is also a lot of focus on female idols' visuals. For example, when an idol is not considered beautiful by Koreans, she will get harassed. For example, Hwasa, which is crazy to me because I think Hwasa is beautiful, and she isn't fat to me or some kind of like hag, but the Koreans treat her kind of like she is. And it's crazy because, like I said, she's not even close to any of those things, but she is talented, one of the most talented singers in K-pop. I would say her and Rosé are the most talented singers in K-pop. Again, she's been writing really good songs that are popular, but there's not enough emphasis placed on female idols' talents, which is why she's been harassed so much for her physical appearance. It's the same for teachers as well. Now, on the same note, some of my young female students also really like male idols and even look up to certain male idols too, but these guys are the most beautiful guys in the world, and they've also had more plastic surgery than we know, and they also have very feminine look, which again is giving kind of really impossible standards. This means that the entire beauty standard is based off of not looking natural, and I really do put natural in air quotes because many idols have really good plastic surgery that does look natural. Even I have found that if I'm exposed to Korean content too much without being exposed to Western TV shows that I haven't seen in a long time, like The Office or Parks and Rec, my own perceptions become altered. And I wondered why that happened, and I think it's because the Korean beauty standard is like so high and is so emphasized towards women. So I have noticed that my female students are particularly obsessed with looks, and I do think they have a warped perception of human beauty and what kind of dieting is normal. I think this will lead them to want to be like idols as much as possible because that's what's available to them as a role model, with the mindset that I have to be Korean white and unhealthily thin to be like my role models. This emphasis on looks is placed from such a young age. I even have a student who is around kindergarten age, and she thinks she can flatter me and subsequently manipulate me to give her like more free time by calling me pretty all the time. And of course, I can't see right through what she's doing, but the fact that she does this proves to me that she already sees beauty and flattery as some form of currency. I have many other students who tend to think that I'm like pretty at first, but once they spend time with me, they start to pick apart my appearance, especially because I don't wear foundation most days. Most often, they realize that they don't actually like my skin tone and the pores on my face. They point out that they like Korean white, but not white white. It's kind of a weird comment that I've gotten quite alarmingly a lot. But yeah, they said that my kind of white is not pretty, and I'm always shocked by the number of times I've gotten these comments from children. They notice that they also don't like the freckles that I have on my arms or like the side of my face. That my eyebrows aren't feminine, but they don't say it that way. They will say like my eyebrows look weird or like boyish. They will also say like point out if I have a pimple, or like again if they can see my pores or like any sweat or anything like that, they will like point it out and not let it go. They'll keep talking about it. Especially like the parents also I think play into this too. Sometimes I will just be teaching and parents or grandparents will just like talk about my looks in Korean while I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, okay, can you like kind of shut up? Anyway, the obsession is there from probably ages like 5 onwards, and I think it's more emphasized toward females. I also think it's really unfair because they don't have, like, girls in Korea don't have successful, truly natural faced role models, or role models who are known for something besides looks. For example, in America, popular TV shows exist where people don't look like that, like The Office and Parks and Recreation. So I grew up having Leslie Knope and Amy Poehler as like one of my role models, and Tina Fey was also very popular for her sense of humor and her skilled acting for a long time when I was really young and didn't know who she was. On the standard of beauty there, she was considered attractive and talented. And she has, like, I would say, a fully natural face, especially back then. And then as adults in Korea, many people have had work done because of this. And they're always often touching up their makeup. I often see my female coworkers fixing their makeup all day and fixing their lipstick constantly. And always doing dieting, even when it's unhealthy. A lot of Korean medicine doctors and even regular doctors sell some crazy diet pills and diet drinks that are like really not safe in my opinion. But where does this all begin? I think it starts at home with these kids, especially because I noticed the first thing parents will comment on when meeting even a teacher is not the teacher's talent or the teacher's skill, but the teacher's physical appearance. All this to say, I think that girls don't have a diverse range of role models in Korea. And I especially role models who are noted for being talented. It doesn't mean that their role models aren't talented. It just means they have to pass through very unhealthy and impossible beauty standards before anyone even mentions their talent. Again, we're going back to Hwasa. I have one last example that's actually not idol related. And it's between the difference in America even versus Korea. So I'm a theater nerd, and Aladdin, the official live musical on Broadway, people cared about Jasmine's vocals. You can even see it online on YouTube. And they didn't care or expect her to show like rock hard abs or even be like very skinny. They didn't expect her to be like super idol skinny. In case you didn't know, like the Jasmine's costume is sometimes like kind of revealing, I guess. But if she couldn't sing, backlash. Because I never once heard anything about the original Jasmine, Broadway Jasmine's appearance until way after the fact, when people thought maybe she was a little too pale for that role. Some people thought, which was not about beauty but diversity. But I heard backlash on her singing, and I heard praise towards her singing. The exact same musical has recently come from Broadway and been translated into Korean and come to Korea. And I am not that familiar with the lead actress, but I think she might have been some kind of former girl group member and maybe actress, like K-drama actress. I'm not 100% sure, but I didn't see a single video of her acting or singing, but I saw videos of her with other songs playing over them, talking about and praising her visuals, especially her thinness and her abs every night, which, by the way, is not necessary to play that character. These are observations that I've had as a teacher and foreigner living in South Korea. You can let me know if you've ever noticed these things or if you learned about something new from this video. Maybe next time I can make a more positive video on a more positive topic if I can find one. Please feel free to like this video and subscribe. Like I've said, when I get enough subscribers, I am going to share my Korean skincare routine that I think will actually surprise a lot of people. Thanks, bye!